Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir, and yes, I'm still traveling, still at my hotel. And this is X-Force number 1. It's kind of a shame. We just had an X-Force number 1 a few months ago, but here we have the whole new team, who are going to be the wetworks, covert ops, just basically what X-Force has always been, where the X characters, like the X-Men tend to react, they're supposed to be the proactive ones. And I still hate the way they're doing these logos. I I don't know what you call that, but I don't like it on all the books. Um, anyway, I've actually done this video a couple times, and I've been having a lot of trouble. I've started it, restarted it, and what what is this? I just noticed this on the cover. Marvel Girl's boot thing here. She has that little pouch. It almost looks like she's wearing the pants that she wore in the 90s, like made famous like in the 90s X-Men cartoon, but she actually wore it in X-Men number 1 with um, Jim Lee in that relaunch of the team there. Um, yeah, it looks like she's wearing those pants underneath her Marvel Girl outfit. Which, why is she back in that? Anyway, she's not wearing those in the book. It's really weird. Maybe they're afraid of her showing that much leg on the cover or something. Especially when you just had the New Mutants cover I did last night. I don't know. I'm going off track. I've started this this review several times, and I don't know how I feel about this book. Um, we're coming out of the House of X, Powers of X. We're in the Dawn of X, and the mutants, as they're dealing with the humans, given their ultimatums, they're doing their Krakoa drug thing. They're working on treaties and sanctions with the rest of the world. Of course, they're going to develop human enemies. People, because it's Marvel, people hate mutants, but people like Spider-Man who can get away. Okay, he has a smear campaign against him, but I've never understood why people hate mutants, but then like someone like Daredevil or Captain America, they have no idea whether they're mutants or not, but they're okay. But anyway, it's people in the Marvel universe are idiots. I've said that, everyone says that. But anyway, this book starts off with these humans who are coming up with their plans. They're going to strike back against the mutants, but Domino tries to, sneak in, but she gets caught. And yeah, she loses contact with Krakoa for like a week, and they don't send anyone after her. We do get a lot more about the whole "don't trust Krakoa" that comes up constantly in all the books. Wolverine says how it makes you feel like you're at peace, but it makes you soft, and there's all kinds of predators going on. This thing attacked Beast. Wolverine has been hunting it for days, and yeah, points out that there's always another predator. So yeah, we see where they're going. This book focuses a lot on Black Tom Cassidy, who is acting as you can't really talk to Krakoa, but you can kind of, intuit what it's thinking, and he communicates with it, kinda. So that's been his role in this, and he even says that some people didn't trust him, and when he wants to be let in more, and Xavier tells him you have to trust them as they trusted you, and it doesn't really make much sense of what Cassidy was asking for. So I just want to point that out. I don't even know if I'm going to get to that panel. Kitty Pryde and the Marauders bring in a boat of refugees, and I absolutely hate that Kitty Pryde is using the Marauders name, especially considering the fact that they injured Colossus pretty badly during the mutant massacre, as well as her. She was trapped in her intangible form, and Colossus was basically paralyzed and unable to turn human, or his injuries would kill him. Um, yeah, so let's take on the name of the people that did that to them. Yeah, and Kitty Pryde wasn't healed until Doctor Doom saved her in the X-Men versus Fantastic Four. That's a good limited series. I like that one. But anyway, Kitty Pryde is bringing in these Russian injured mutant refugees. And the whole point is that you're only supposed to enter Krakoa by those portals, and here she is bringing them up on the shore. That's a big no-no. And yeah, here's Jean Grey without those weird boot pouches. And also, you would think that Jean Grey, at this point in her life, she's old enough to know she shouldn't be wearing that short of a skirt and floating above Kitty Pryde's head. You know, she's going to give Kitty a full face full of her hoo-ha. I mean, that's why Kitty's looking down like this. She's like, I don't want to look up at your bits, Jean. How many times do I have to tell you this? So yeah, then we have the injured Colossus here. We get more of the attacks. There's a big attack being planned as Xavier is intermingling with people, living the diplomatic life. And I'm going through this pretty quickly because the book bounces around with the tension. It doesn't really start to get good until about halfway through when these Reaver-like people parachute above Krakoa. And that's how they infiltrate the island. Here's one problem is you see them, you know, cruising in. You see Black Tom see them looking up at them. You know, Sage, I'm aware. The monitor is acting a little glitchy, but it looks like Domino, she's back? Domino, you're sure? Then why hasn't she been in communication? You know, and, you know, where could she possibly be parachuting in from? The moon? So they must be using something to make this look like Domino's signature. And no one seems to be really concerned that it's a fireball coming in. This whole bit seems very weird, considering that the X-Men have been spending so much time securing Krakoa that just parachuting in these 4 people like that, yeah, they did go through a whole bunch of stuff to disguise themselves and to route things over. But come on, this is the X-Men. They have enough people on the team that can fly. You would think they'd have people watching the skies. And of course, when the not the Marauders, but the Reavers land, they start shooting everyone. And yeah, there's Boom Boom. I hope she made it through. So, yeah, I'm going to stop there because this book has a big, crazy cliffhanger, which I don't buy for a second. With everything going on, you would think what happens in the cliffhanger is would happen in the main book, not in X-Force. So, again, this is a first issue, but we already are familiar with X-Force, the title, what they tend to do. You would think that they would already be preactively going out, hunting down these people. It looks like only Domino was, and even then, the rest of the X-Men seemed to have no clue what Domino was up to, and she just fell off the radar. Oh well, what does it matter? She fell off the radar, and it really left them open for a huge attack that cost them lives. It really drills down the point that there is a human mutant divide, and you're going to need the wetworks team. This is a unique wetworks team. You know, of course, you'd have Domino and Wolverine. Quentin, I don't think we actually saw him in this issue now that I think about it. I don't recall even seeing him anywhere. But he's going to be on it, which is weird that we have 2 psychic people on one book. And Sage, whatever the heck she does. I've never been quite sure exactly what Sage does. So it's nice that we have Black Tom. Of course, he would be in a Black Ops group, but This issue, I'm not really quite sure. I can see what they're going for. They're going for a dark tone. You see that in the art. It's paced. It goes pretty quickly. Enough to keep you interested. It changes to the next scene. The parachute part seems to take forever, if I can kind of get to it. It just, when this is one of those books that as I was reading it, it felt like something was missing. Something I could not quite put my finger on. And I've read through it twice. And yeah, you got the people here that, at a glance with the art, you really can't tell if this is, Peter in human form or not. I imagine it's supposed to be. You see he's just kind of staring off there. We did see an injured Peter, explaining what happened. But then you cut over to this dude here who looks just like Peter's human form. And these are the people that are, I'm calling them the Reavers, that are parachuting onto Krakoa. Kind of a weird juxtaposition there that made me actually on the second read through go through and double check to see if this was a Colossus, a flashback to what he was doing on his mission. But no, it's their mission. So yeah, there's a few little complaints on this. I still like New Mutants better. It's still been my favorite book so far of the Dawn of X. This one has potential though. I'd like to see where they go with this, but I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of getting burned out of Dawn of X, to be honest, and it just started. We're just in the first issues of it, so. What would I rate this book? I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I don't want to be hard for, for no sick at all, but there was just something that didn't quite grab me, so I'm going to go 2 o'clock. The art's a little muddy at points, and I pointed that out with that dude who looks like Colossus in the next panel. And some of the actions is actually pretty good. Wolverine looks kind of weird at one point. He looks all spiky, his body hair, and I can't quite. Yeah, I mean, I saw this, and he looks like he has quills. So some of it's kind of silly like this. But some of it's actually pretty good. Some of the night scenes when they're actually on the island, when they're being attacked, and I count this toward the colors as well. Some of these scenes look really good. The way they go from, the light as they're, I don't know why they're so high up that they're burning up. You're just in a plane, to the dark and back and forth. Really sells that, kind of calm here. High energy. Anyway, maybe that's just me, but not my favorite book of the relaunch, but not bad either. So, anyway, still going to be here tomorrow night. I'm going to do Spider-Man Venom Double Trouble, and that one kind of surprised me. And it's Mariko Tamaki, so you know how I feel about her. So, anyways, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.